come on, and it would be like, I was in another building, and they called me, and they were like, Julia, this song has been going on for 14 minutes. And I was like, okay. And they were like, does this happen at your house? And I was like, no. Oh, and I'm like, yeah, because we're doing stuff together at my house. This is for her for here, so she doesn't have to deal with you. She likes me.
For her.
Yeah, she likes me. We talk to each other when we're at home. The 14-minute long song is so she doesn't have to deal with you. They didn't like that answer, but it was the truth.
The quiet sass. That's like
First hurts sometimes.
My dad pulled some shit like that on us when we were kids because we really wanted to listen to a CD. And he was like, all right, I'm gonna have one more song. And we were like, okay, you're allowed one more song. And motherfucker played a 30-minute song. Like it was like a nonstop. I don't even know what the fuck it was. But we were like, is it over? And he's like, not yet. And now looking back, I realized he was just stoned out of his mind and probably didn't realize that the song was over a while ago and just, that's fine.
I just got the perfect emote from our hype train. Look at this.
What you got?
Have those always been a thing?
Yes. Okay, wait. I love
think
this.
So. I don't know.
Nice.
Those are the vibes.
She's so cute.
Hell yeah.
Why is she moving so slowly now? She needs to be double time.
All right, keep talking. There's a couple things that I got to adjust here on our overlay,
okay.
But yeah,
well,
we're good.
If we're talking
live.
about our parents and weird musics, my dad was obsessed with Evanescence.
Wow.
And so he would play the Evanescence CD loud enough that the house physically shook. That's not like a joke. That like physically there was shaking. And I'll never forget.
That's impressive.
I'll never forget the one time I got up in the middle of the night. My love for Daredevil starts with my father because my father was like, "There's Evanescence in this movie." And that is my origin story. But I woke up one time in the middle of the night and I got up to go. I forget what I was doing. I was going to the bathroom, getting some water, doing something. And my dad was awake, and it was like 2 or 3 in the morning. And he sees me go by, and he's like, "Hey, come here." And I was like, "Why?" He was like, "I'm gonna watch this concert DVD." And then he made me sit on the couch and watch the Evanescence concert DVD. And I'm like, late elementary school, early middle school, and I'm just like bleary-eyed and out of my mind at 3 in the morning. I was like, "What's happening here?"
What's the problem?
What's the problem? The problem is I don't know what he was doing. Why was my father awake at 2, 3 in the morning watching Evanescence? And instead of sending me back to bed, he was like, "No, this is going to be a bonding experience."
I didn't
need that
now.
I didn't.
He's like, "You're going to need this in life."
My mom was very into country music, very specifically honk tonk badonkadonk, and I'm still traumatized by it. It just
It'd be like that sometimes.
Do be like that. Do be like that often and sometimes.
I feel like what we need to do is next time tell everyone to start the same song at the same exact time, and we'll just like for a solid 3 minutes in chat and here everyone will just have a fucking silent disco, and we'll just like
silent disco stream.
Honestly, yes.
Stream, and then we can just jump right in.
Yeah.
You gotta do that for
Which rave, yeah.
I was gonna say for like one of the Hasmus games.
Just no game. You just come on, here's the playlist, put your headphones on, hop in.
Silent disco Hasmus.
We're silent discoing.
It's gonna be a community night event that we set up.
Now do you think, okay, now here's a question. Hopping over to Christmas for a second.
Yeah.
Do you think there is a dubstep song?
Yes.
Yes.
That
Next question.
I was gonna say no. Do you think there's a Dust Says song that clips Jim Carrey's The Grinch?
Absolutely, there
Like
is.
that samples
Yeah.
it.
Absolutely,
There's
I
there
need
no
to
is.
find
question,
this.
Raph.
I want it now. I need that song now. Jim Carrey's Not Feet.
If
All
there's not,
caps.
I'm sure you can find at least one internet DJ to make it.
True. Hop on Fiverr.
I
Be
do
like,
love how
I
the
have
first.
a vision.
I do love how the first thing that comes up is the Busta Rhymes featuring Jim Carrey Grinch from the actual soundtrack. I forgot about that.
I was going to say, Julie and I lived with a dubstep artist in college. I don't know if either one of us is still in
Wow.
contact with
I
them,
actually-
but they could maybe make it.
Sporadically, I am actually, and I was talking to Amanda about that 2 nights ago. Actually,
Well,
we were
maybe-
talking about him.
Maybe they can make Raph the song.
I would like it. Your mean one, Mr. Grinch. Wait, no, that's not it. Your mean one's no. Your mean one's no.
There's a Mr. Grinch song official trap remix, but unfortunately for you,
Is it the fucking British one?
What's
his name?
What?
Benjamin. What's his fucking name?
Unfortunately, it looks like
Caucus one?
it's deep. It's by deep. So the full title of this YouTube
What's
song
his
is Mr.
name?
Grinch song official
Grinch
trap
song.
remix DB7 Christmas trap. So trap and
Okay.
dubstep are not exactly the same.
No,
No.
Raph, are you asking if the Grinch's name is Benjamin?
No, the British actor who did the new Grinch. What is his fucking
Benedict
name?
Cumberbatch.
Yes, I knew he
Wait,
had something with penises in his name, and I wasn't sure to remember what it was.
So
Where are the penises in his name?
It's common. It's common his name.
That's not a penis thing, first of all.
It's fair, but that's how I was remembering him.
No,
And
that's fair. It's just the one word. You're like, there's penises in his name. It's just one tiny fragment of his very long name.
Is it Benjamin though? Is his name Benjamin?
no, it's Benedict.
Benedict.
I guess Dick is in there.
There you go,
That's fair.
Dick.
Benedict and
Yeah.
okay, you understand.
All right.
You have
All
to
right.
understand.
All right. You showed your math.
I appreciate this logic. I see how your
God.
brain's connecting it, and I love it.
The neurons are okay. Hold on, I'm on SoundCloud.
It's early too. So
Was it loud, Raph? Was it loud? Oh God!
Oh,
No,
okay.
that's not
All
good.
right. No, not good.
Jesus Christ.
Was it loud?
SoundCloud. Anyway, hold on. Bumping y'all up again. That
There's
was
a specific
unnecessarily loud.
Tiesto song that I've been looking for. Do you know how much music Tiesto has made?
I don't.
A
Couldn't help
lot.
I have like a very gentle instrumental piece playing in the background right now on stream, so that's very at odds with this.
Get on our level, God.
I'm not going to subject the people watching this stream to listening to rave music at 11 a.m. on a Saturday.
Listening to
For
us
most of us,
yelling
it's
over
earlier on the
range
West
music.
Coast.
Subject or bless them with? What
Well,
are
Yeah,
you're a little
exactly.
confused.
As far as I'm aware, our
Why is
UK
it-
audience is rap, so it's very early for everybody else.
Anyway.
I may have found something. That's the whole thing in it.
It has an old man in it.
We could start if you want.
Yeah, we can start. Raph can continue their journey.
This is on brand for our Saturday morning streams. We usually
It's not that
for
good.
class
Sorry.
recording.
Okay, sorry to
Sorry to hear
say. It started off very hype and kind of died down a lot. It
Mm.
wasn't very good. It's also
Sorry.
less than a minute long.
Did you say there was an old man in it?
Yeah, the guy who screams, "Put him in the chair of cheer!" He's like the first 30 seconds of the fucking song. Anyway, what were we doing?
We were maybe
This
gonna
game?
play
Maybe?
a game.
All
Maybe.
right, okay.
Maybe. All right. Hello. Hi, hello, good morning, welcome. If you've never got us before, we're Live from the Apocalypse. We're a not-for-profit TTRPG studio that makes actual play content like streams and podcasts to raise money for nonprofits and aid organizations. Currently, as we have been for quite some time now, raising money for medical aid for Palestinians. A very important nonprofit doing a lot of very important medical work in occupied Palestine. And it's bad, but we just ask that if you like what you see here, instead of doing the normal twitch.tv things of subscribing or giving us bits or interacting with fake Jeff Bezos money in any way, you just take whatever you can spare. There's no expectation. And you give it directly to Medical Aid for Palestinians instead of to us, because we just do this. We just listen to Grinch remixes that you can't hear live on stream until we rate them, but you can't hear them
next time.
Our rating is definitive. And yeah, that's all we really do. Also, sometimes I guess we play games like we might be about to. Yeah, that's most of the stuff in the things. We ask that you give money if you can to Medical Aid for Palestinians. If you're gonna give money, give it to them. But don't feel like you're under any obligation to do so. We can't turn off subscribing. It's not a thing that Twitch gives us access to, so we can't stop it from happening, but we have hidden the subscribe button to make it a little bit more obvious that you should donate instead. If you have Amazon Prime, comes with the Prime sub, you got to put it somewhere. Hey, what's up? We're available. Buy us dinner first. If you do that, just be aware that beloved Dimension 20 Dungeon Master Brennan Lee Mulligan will kill a dog, as you may have seen at the start of the of the stream. It's a lot. I can't keep track. Did anybody total those up?
No.
It's over 100. I'm confident.
It's a lot of dogs.
Are you typing them into a calculator? Okay, cool. Yeah, anyway. So we're gonna get that count, I guess, in a second. Nobody's gonna be happy about it. I'm not gonna be happy about it.
Don't speak for all of us, Will. You don't
JD
know
might be
us.
happy
You don't know our
about it.
hearts.
I'm innocent. I did not contribute.
I have an announcement. It is officially 142 dogs.
Oh my god.
It's a lot of dogs. It might be a record. I'm not sure. Anyway, it's too many. I think we can all agree. So maybe just give money to Medical Aid for Palestinians instead of doing more of that. And yeah, that's most of the stuff and the things. If you donate, there will be an alert that plays. It'll interrupt what's going on. You'll get thanked. It's nice. It's just a nice thing. But thanks so much for hanging out with us on a Saturday morning as we embark on this little game called Grimoire Punk. Grimoire Punk is a very rules light system. The rule book is about like 20 pages long. I would highly recommend it, and doesn't have character sheets or anything like that. You build a spell book with some cards. So you may see us referencing playing cards or talking about the different values, and that is the mechanics of this game. So we are going to go ahead and get into our introductions, I think, and then get into our game from there. So didn't really put anybody into this overlay in any particular order. So JD, if you don't mind going first, we'll just go left to right.
Sure, I will kick us off for that. I have no idea what the fuck to say for an intro, but hi, I'm JD. You can find me on the internet at JD Not Jason Dean, and today I'm playing Raven. They are just a normal little goth hacker. Don't worry about it. They've never done anything wrong ever in their life.
And then Raph.
Hello, I'm Raph. I will be playing Lunchbox. And you'll see.
Julia.
Hi, I'm Julia. Today? What the fuck? Hi, I'm playing Moth. And she's just a little flighty, a little new at this, really nosy, probably a problem, but we'll see.
And Chrissy.
Hi, I'm Chrissy, recovering rape baby. And I'm playing Space Kate, currently active, not recovering rave baby, and who's just here to blast some obnoxious music and throw glow sticks at you.
We support that. We love that. I think as we get into our story and as we begin our tale here, where we're going to open up with pre heist. You all have had this, you Grims, exclamation point Z, upside down exclamation point Z. Sorry, or I guess it's just a regular exclamation point. An upside down exclamation point is an I. I'm realizing. So you Grims, you make a habit of stealing magic, stealing spells from wizards who have entirely too much of it, who are kind of hoarding it. And you are of the opinion that magic belongs to the people, or maybe just to you, maybe not to the people. It depends. And so I think where we're going to begin, and as we get into character descriptions, we'll kind of like pan around as one might in a 90s film, as our game does take place in the 1990s. So as a track plays in the background, an upbeat, high energy track plays in the background, and we camera zoom around POV a American shopping mall. Where do we see each of our Grims? And feel free to give a little description. I guess we'll just go in the same order. GD, if you are ready, I feel like this is an easy one. Maybe the softball.
You know, you never know what I'm gonna say. Well, you
That's
know, I
true.
like to keep you on your toes. So we are at an American mall. What time of the day is it? Just out of curiosity.
I would say, the mall is, in my mind, the mall is a place of afternoons and evenings. So we'll say like maybe around lunchtime.
And so I think where we find Raven in that case is actually just sitting in a small alcove that they found, like right near one of the entrances to the employees only area. And we see what initially just kind of looks almost like a pile of clothing, because Raven is pretty small and the clothes he is wearing are way too big for him. And so you start to kind of make out a way too large Sisters of Mercy t-shirt, a black trench coat, some pants that have way too many straps and buckles and look like they are a tripping hazard. And he is just sitting there leaning over a book in his hands. And that's a little bit surprising because you see that it is the Bible. It looks very incongruous for him to be holding, but as you look, you notice many of the pages are mostly blacked out. And in fact, he is holding a Sharpie and just going through, working on the next page, taking a word here, taking a letter there, and every so often checking his watch to see when he needs to start moving to meet up with the others. Of course, it is the 90s. He's got headphones on. He's got his head bobbing. What he's listening to? Probably a mix of Sisters of Mercy, some Susie and the Banshees, that sort of stuff.
Mm-hmm. Amazing, incredible. And moving on around our shopping mall to Lunchbox.
Lunchbox is probably not too far. Raven said he was at the employee area, you said?
Yeah, like right outside one of the doors, just sitting in that alcove.
Yeah,
back to the wall. Yeah.
Lunchbox is like in that hallway leading toward the bathrooms, where all of the vending machines are, and is not subtly reaching from underneath the opening of the vending machine hole to try to grab at some snacks, but being also very, very little. Yeah, their arm is just not quite getting there, and their other arm is trying to reach around so they can kind of shake it and pound at the machine. But it's just not quite there, and just really trying to get that like Snickers bar. It's just out of reach. Yeah.
Incredible. And we zoom away to find Moth.
So Moth is definitely in the food court area. She's kind of aggressively normal looking in a lot of ways. She's got like reddish blonde hair that's like mid-length, blunt bangs. She's wearing just typical 90s color blocked windbreaker. She's got some chipped nail polish, t-shirt, the jeans that are like cuffed a bit at the bottom, red high tops, and she's just sitting, chilling, drinking probably her second, third, fourth cherry soda of the day. Who knows? Who cares? And she's got her Walkman that she's not currently listening to anything. She's just kind of sorting through a frankly disastrous looking backpack full of mixed tapes and just tapes in general that are in there. Some of them are in cases, some of them aren't. Some of them probably definitely don't work anymore because of the treatment that they've been subjected to. And she's just sort of in there rummaging. And but she's been doing that for like a while. Doesn't seem like she's finding anything, and that's because she's not really looking for anything. She's just looking busy while she just like people watches in the most like unnecessary way.
Incredible. And finally, last but not least, where in our American shopping mall do we find Space Cake?
Oh, absolutely the arcade. That and the music store, that's the only things that exist. Oh, and the food court. But right now, I think they're hanging out in the arcade. They're playing some Galaga. And they have a little Walkman going and a little tab soda kind of placed next to them. And they are vibing out. They have on a pretty tight, like little tie-dye crop top, a bunch of like assorted candy on their neck and wrist, and they have on tiny little, their glasses are heart shaped. I don't have them, but they're kind of gradient between purple and blue, and they have on these baggy like little cargo looking pants that I think they're pink to match her little crop top. And she has this old fashioned laptop that she's like kind of rigged up to be a little backpack. And then on her side, you see a bunch of floppy disks on a binder ring attached on one of her belt loops. And she has like extremely vibrant, colorful hair, all different shades, pinks, purples, oranges, blues, just kind of chaotic and everywhere. It's kind of about shoulder length, curly, or wavy, more than curly. And yeah, that's Space Cake.
Oh yeah. And I think as the day wears on and we see the sun move across the domed frosted glass ceiling of the shopping mall, we see all of you kind of slowly come together in the food court. I imagine to begin talking about your plans, because you are all about to attempt something very dangerous, something with a lot of risk associated with it. And while it's been fun probably about time for y'all to get a little more serious. So we
No, Will,
have.
you say dangerous, and I hear exciting.
I mean, that's fair. That's extremely fair. And I think that's the right attitude to go into this with. So we're now moving into the investigation phase. This is probably something that has actually taken place over a pretty long stretch of time. We have a deck of community cards that we put together and assigned to various people, places, traditions, and things within organizations within our neighborhood, Pleasant Point. And we are now in the investigation phase going to draw some cards and figure out which of those aspects of your neighborhood have played into creating this opportunity that you now find yourselves faced with to steal magic from one of the wizards that you know exist. So basically, there are 4 cards. I have posted a picture of the cards that have been drawn in the neighborhood channel of the Discord. We have the Ace of Diamonds, the 9 of Hearts, the 9 of Spades, and the Ace of Hearts. You can see who those correspond to. And I guess for the edification of our audience, I will go through and I will say that our Ace of Diamonds is assigned to a rival crew of grimoire punks known as Bastion's Bastards, headed up by Bastion. Our 9 of Hearts is assigned to an enigmatic figure known as the Cuckoo, whose purpose is infiltrating wizards organizations and feeding information back to people like you for a cut. The 9 of Spades is the Blade Run, which is the weekly rollerblade race through the underground subway stations with magic for a prize. And then the Ace of Hearts is assigned to Sunshine, who is a sentient dog, and their owner/dog walker, Greg, who may or may not be clued in. A little unclear. So what we are going to do is you are going to pick any number of those cards to put into this and add their values together. That's kind of going to determine what scenes we're playing through or what's happening during our investigation phase. Any cards that you don't choose to factor into this will be available to you for you to use during the heist phase. So you can use all of these cards and have a really strong opportunity to start with, but then you won't have any extra cards to work with during the heist phase, or you can do some combination there, and it's up to you.
1991 is pricey.
Yeah. I was going to say, I do think it would make the most sense for us to maybe speak with Sunshine in this stage, because I don't know how accessible they will be, especially since we're not 100% sure about whether Greg is in the know or not. So we should probably get them out of the way early.
Okay.
I also think if we're bringing the Blade Run into it, that'd be a good place to do the heist and have the bastards collaborating as a distraction.
Ooh,
I'm with you.
Then maybe we do Cuckoo and Sunshine.
Yep.
Yeah, so Cuckoo and Sunshine now, and then we'll get the later.
All right, so let me go ahead and remove these. So we have Sunshine, who is the Ace of Hearts, and we have the Cuckoo, who is the 9 of Hearts. So all of our hearts are gone. But Bastion and the Blade Run are going to the side here, and we have a starting value of 10, which means that this is a slim opportunity that you find yourselves faced with. You can do it, but it's going to be hard. And you're gonna start with an additional heat, which is a clock that I am tracking as the game master throughout the heist. You can acquire heat, and that will determine what goes down at the end of the heist. It's sort of the fallout of the heist.
I feel like that's appropriate for us. I feel like we're a little bit we're a little bit more I wouldn't say aggressive, but I would say maybe like a little bit more nonchalant than we should be about
Yeah.
things in
Yeah.
general.
Yeah.
So I think that's our hubris, and I don't care.
Okay. Very cool. Very cool. Fantastic. All right. So we've got those two factors folded in here. Let's see. So I feel like the cuckoo is pretty self-explanatory. Does anybody have any thoughts about how Sunshine the Talking Dog might factor into this operation? To be clear and to set the scene a little bit, I think the cuckoo probably approached you all with this opportunity. Maybe through Raven, since I feel like you as the hacker are probably the one that's sort of the most communicative through, early 90s message boards that are devoted to this sort of thing. So I think you probably would have gotten kind of a mysterious email or communication of some kind from this person identifying themselves as the cuckoo, letting you know that they're writing to you from within Mortimer Kilbride's confidence, inner circle, shall we say. And I think maybe you'd have to do like an Ask Jeeves to find out who that is exactly. But like the name sounds familiar, and then I think you realize that you recognize the name, well, at least the name Kilbride, from a local law firm that you've seen ads and things about. The law firm is called Kilbride and Kilbride.
I was gonna ask.
Sounds about
Presumably,
right.
maybe like a father-son thing. You're not really sure, but yeah. So you were approached with this message, basically saying like, "Hey, I have an opportunity that you might be interested in. Mortimer Kilbride." There's probably a code that gets used on the message boards for like spells. Not sure what it would be off the top of my head, but Pogs. Thing that popped into my head.
Incredible.
Okay.
You get this message that says, Mortimer Kilbride is a very enthusiastic Pog collector. There's a lot
Got
of
some
rare
rare
Pogs.
pogs.
Yes. A lot of rare Pogs if you'd be interested in getting your hands on some.
And I mean, Raven, of course, would, do what he could to try and find out if Cuckoo is legit or
Mhm.
if this is someone just trying to fuck around. But I also feel like he wouldn't have looked that hard into it. It would have been like,
Well,
give me one thing to prove yourself.
that is one way that we could rope Sunshine the Talking Dog in, because Sunshine kind of knows everybody, I feel like.
Yeah. Yeah, so I think Raven gets that, has like a little back and forth with the cuckoo, and then is like, hey, any of you heard of someone who calls themselves this?
I think that's probably where we begin. Oh yes, sorry, you're asking your contacts. Yeah, you hear back from other Grimoire punks, other people on the forums, that they have heard of the cuckoo, that the cuckoo is legit, and they tell you what they do, that they infiltrate wizards organizations, and then they don't take on the risk themselves. They create opportunities for people like you to get the magic, and then they take a cut of it at the end.
Yeah. And then Raven would approach the rest of
Mhm.
the Grims with this information.
I think that is probably where we begin our game in the food court of the Pleasant Point Mall.
We gotta verify if Kilbride actually, like, which Kilbride? Is Mortimer the father, the son, the brother? Who are they?
Mortimer Kilbride is the founder of the law firm. So the father.
Okay.
So he's gonna have some
that much
sick
from.
spells.
Mm-hmm. you think Sunshine might know anything about like who else is on the law firm who might be like a risk?
And I also think that these are questions you might have like a for the purposes of this meeting. I think Raven, you might have set up kind of an encrypted line to the cuckoo, so it's just like DOS text, but like you can type questions and things like that, and then get text replies from whoever this person is.
Sitting at like the table closest to the fountain, so we're just like
Raven is sitting on the table, and as he's sitting there, he reaches into those trench coat pockets and pulls out a can of Jolt in one hand and a can of Surge in the other. The Surge can is the most colorful thing about him, and he just starts drinking from them alternatingly and then putting them down so he can type.
What if you just mixed them?
Raven, even my heart is concerned for you, and that's saying a lot.
Yeah, it's concerning, but also like, what if they just mixed them? I can get like an extra.
Mop, could you get me a cup?
Yeah, I'll go get you a cup. We could make this so much more efficient.
Lunchbox, I like the way you think. They hand out a couple of like scatter around a couple like Dunkaroos and things to go so you can wash some Dunkaroos down with your drink, and then proceeds to like sit on top of the lunchbox, the like hard cased lunchbox that they always carry with
a booster seat.
Booster seat. How tall is Lunchbox?
Lunchbox is like, I think I said 4'11", but that's like 4'11" on Tinder. You know what I mean? So
sure.
Yeah, and you see them. Yeah, they just like crack open a Dunkaroo and are just like, yeah, I love talking to Sunshine. Sunshine's the boy. He's a good boy.
You got any gushers in there?
Oh, baby, do I have gushers? Okay, like hold on 1 minute, and then you have to hop off the chair to like open the lunchbox. I got all of the good gushers. Don't you worry.
And yeah, I think as you were hanging out and having snacks and just vibing, the DOS text appears across your screen, Raven, that just says, "I'm sure you have questions."
Hey, what questions do we have? I mean, I have questions. Do you all have questions?
What is their weakness?
I mean, yeah, but like also like, are we just knocking over the dad, or are we knocking over the law firm? Like, are they all wizards? Well, yeah, because like, I mean, if they're all wizards, I feel like that's like harder to deal with than just like one wizard. I don't know. I'm just saying. It's not that we can't do it. I think we should just know if we're gonna have to. You know, preparation. Fair. We could do it. I believe us. I believe in us that we could knock over more than one wizard. I just want to know in advance, how many wizards am I knocking over?
All right. And Raven types in, are they all Pog enthusiasts?
They would write back, you can speak plainly here. And then they say, you see more of the typing as the words appear across the screen. No. Only Kilbride.
Okay, but there's two Kilbrides.
Which Kilbride?
I think Mortimer. That's the name, right? That's the name he gave us?
Yes.
They gave us? Yes. Cuckoo gave us?
Yep. The father. The son is ... something else. I'm not sure.
Something else.
I have an idea.
What
if, and I just point at the three of you and I say, we get it through the sun. Ask Cuckoo what the sun's type is, and we can maybe, slide in. You know, and then if you get married,
That feels like
you will
really
have
long.
access to the family. I'm
That's-
talking long game here. If you imagine we gained that trust, we'd be able to absolutely take them for all they've got.
Yeah, but like, how old is the son? What if the son is like not?
I mean, old enough to have his name on the building. What if we got him to the Blade Run tonight and we did a little kidnapping and made him help us break into the building?
I think Raven just types, does the sun like rollerblading?
This is a legitimate question, my guy.
Yeah, no, it is.
Answer the question.
I get it. Unsure, but I found a secure room in his office full of human bones, so I would avoid.
Oh, he's like a freak, but not like a freak, like a freak.
Is he a freak or is he a collector?
Ask him the real question.
Ask him if there's any teeth marks on them bones.
Ask him if they're ethically sourced.
Are the
him if
bones
they've been chewed
ethically
on.
sourced? Have they been chewed on?
Are you asking that? What are you asking?
Yes.
If they've been
Listen,
chewed
I'm
on?
just translating the messages.
So you're asking if the bones have been chewed on.
And are they ethically sourced?
I would assume no on both counts.
Do we want to get him to the Blade Run tonight? Is it
The
tonight?
sun? No. If the sun's
No, the papa.
All right, how are we gonna get the papa to the Blade Run?
I don't think, unless we all decided to wear suits, which disgusting. I don't think if they would take us seriously if we tried to get in there or try to hire them or something.
I mean, that's why we break and enter.
Tell
Well,
him their pogs as the prize for the Blade Run. He might be enticed to steal pogs.
Do wizards collect things, pogs?
Yeah, babe. Wizards love to collect things. That's why the sun's got a bunch of bones.
Bones, pogs. It's just getting a little confusing. Okay, so maybe we just drop by the water cooler at the law firm and are like, damn, I heard there's some good fucking pogs out tonight at the Blade Run under the subway station, and you know, maybe he'll pick it up.
Here's the thing. I feel like he's a little bit too outs. I think if he's a owner of a law firm and all that shit, his bones are probably too brittle to be roller skating. So I think what we should do.
What if we tell him there's cocaine there?
Fair. But what I think we should do is I think we're looking a little too high. I think we got to look a little lower. I think we got to get one of his interns. Those I think we could definitely get to the Blade Run. Those
Okay.
I think we can definitely use to get into the building. An intern, listen. Interns ain't got nothing going for them, but they love to be perceived as important.
They do.
Yeah, but are they going to have the access that we need to get whatever Dad has locked up?
They'll be able to get us into the building at the basement level at least, and they'll know enough of the layout for us to get through the building. We just we don't need a lawyer. We need an intern.
They might know his schedule to some degree.
I think that's what we need to ask Sunshine about, who his interns are, and then we need to pick one to target and use them to get in.
Yeah, tell them like, damn, if I could collect these pogs for my boss, I know I would get a raise.
Well, that, or tell them, if you want to make yourself look good in front of your boss, you can get some of your own pogs. And we know a place you can get some of your own pogs. We take him to the Blade Run. We shake him down. We get into the building.
Coins. Get to the building. Okay.
And I think meanwhile, as Raven is listening to this, he's typing in. So, what exactly are you looking for us to grab in terms of pogs?
And they would write back, Kilbride's office is on the top floor of the building. There is a secret room off of his office. Requires passcode, changes daily. Security is tight, both traditionally and magically. Not picky about what you grab, but I get 20%. I trust you to take good stuff.
Dude, why does he get 20%? We're the ones going in there doing this shit.
But that's even, though. They're not actually asking for more than us. That's 20 each. They could be asking for more from us for just the deal.
That's true.
You could try to.
We could also just lie, be like, that's all we got. But actually, we have a lot more hidden away.
Oh, that's smart.
Yeah, there's no way that could go wrong.
I mean, plus, if this is like, if we agree to 20 and then they bring us more jobs, then we can get better deals.
I like the way you think.
It's very mercenary. That's what my mom says. She doesn't say it like it's a nice thing, though.
Oh.
Well, she's wrong.
So it sounds like we're kidnapping an intern.
We're gonna show him a good time. That's not kidnapping.
A good time. I mean, we could be real. We could be real. And it's fine. We could kidnap someone. I'd be down.
Yeah. Let's go see who Sunshine thinks is the best candidate for kidnapping.
And also maybe who sniffs the most, like smells the most like the pawpaw. What's his name? Mortimer
Kilbride.
Maybe there's an intern that might know at least one of the passwords.
Surely.
Yeah, that seems like something an intern would know.
It's not like they're the lowest link on the food chain.
Intern or a paralegal, one of them people who just like has to do everything for everyone else to make everyone else's life easier.
Oh, maybe, yeah. Yeah. I was going to say maybe also like a young lawyer who's trying to make partner.
Mm-hmm.
Or, just as a backup plan, what about the janitor?
Surely.
Surely the janitor would have access to a secret room.
Depends on if he likes the room clean.
Well, at least like his office, right? Which might lead us to more information. I doubt he wants a dirty office. I don't know. Maybe he's like that. Maybe he does like that.
Mortimer sounds like an oily kind of situation.
I mean, the janitor would have to be cool with a lot of stuff if there's, bones just chilling there.
They're underpaid and underappreciated. I think they're gonna vibe with us.
All right, so we're looking for interns and paralegals, and janitors. I think that's that's a net. That's a wide net. We can
I think that's a wide net.
scoop.
We're kidnapping them and we're asking them
We're not
questions.
kidnapping them. We're taking them to have a good time, and
We're
we're gonna
taking them to have a good time as a hostage.
Am I being kidnapped? No.
No.
Can I leave?
No.
No.
Lunchbox. Quick question.
Yeah.
Quick question, Lunchbox. Did somebody ever kidnap you? You seem real
There's
specific.
a long distance there.
You seem real particular about
No,
this
I
order
don't
of
think so.
operations.
I just like to use the appropriate words. I like to just be honest about the situation.
I mean, we are going to show them a good time.
That is true. I'm not going to tell them we're going to kidnap them. I'm just going to say, let us know who you wanted us to talk to in case you can't go back home.
And I mean, if it's someone that we find that we need to alter their memory a bit, I'm sure there's a drug combination for that. I've probably taken a drug combination for that. But I can't remember because it did its
for
job.
Sure. We could also ask Barbed Wire to help us once we...
The more people we ask in, the smaller that 20% becomes for us.
Some people just do it out of spite.
That's true. Barbed Wire might be in a spiteful mood. I don't think Barbed Wire likes lawyers. That doesn't seem like something they'd enjoy.
No.
Barb is a complicated person.
It's true.
You'd have to ask her.
I have to ask her how she feels about lawyers.
I'd like to ask her how she feels about a lot of things.
It's fair.
Sorry.
Since you've been quiet for a while, I think the DOS text appears again and just asks any more questions.
Ask him where he what his usual hours are.
Raven relays that question.
Yeah. Berries.
And
varies. He's usually out of his office by 6 p.m. But sometimes he goes home. Sometimes he stays in secret room.
All right, so he might be in the secret room potentially when we go there. Raven's
better be.
Cool.
Raven's gonna take that moment as Lunchbox prepares for violence to ask, are there any big cases that he's working on right now?
That's an interesting question. It's a very interesting question. This is a slim opportunity. So I'm going to say that the response you get back from the cuckoo is not privy to that information.
Okay. All right, Lunchbox, Space Cake, any other questions for our friend?
Did you ask him for an intern or janitor's name? I'm sorry.
No, I think we were going to ask Sunshine for that.
Okay.
Yeah. I feel like Sunshine's more boots on the ground. You know what I mean? Paws on the ground.
Did you ask him about building security?
Said tight security magically and not magically.
Okay. Not a question for him, but a question for you. The non-magic, can you hack it?
Of course I can.
Okay. I don't know why I asked.
I'm elite.
All right.
You know I'm elite.
All right. That's all I got.
All right.
Yeah, I don't know if I have any questions. I think we have a solid plan, full proof that it's easy.
Yeah, there's no way any of this could go wrong.
No way.
Couldn't agree more.
Bite me, asshole.
That was time. Get out of here.
You stood up, which means you get bit. You know the rules.
He's keeping you in line.
Sweet.
Oh, he's so chatty.
Oh, I didn't hear it, man. The noise gates.
He's so loud.
So loud.
He's getting noise gated, I guess. He's
Yeah,
mad
not
because
loud enough.
I got up and he thought, oh, you're done. Nope.
No, not that. Then you sat back down and then he bit you. Because
Yep.
you sat back down.
Right on my fucking kneecap. Here.
Are his eyes open though? That's the important question.
Well, yes. Because he's... Hold on.
So it sounded like we were relocating to the Pleasant Point Dog Park.
Yeah.
All right.
Do
cool.
we need a dog?
No. I mean, do you have one?
Should I make one?
You are a sex
Hey.
The timing on that one. Oh
He's the bad guy.
Not the dogs at the dog park.
no. Not the dog park dogs. Not the dog park dogs.
Should I make one? It's crazy.
See, I legitimately thought Lunchbox was just gonna be like, I can pretend to be one.
Oh no.
I'm small enough.
Just like put on the costume like fucking what is that one with Elijah Woods, Wilford?
Oh,
Yeah.
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 Where he
Exactly.
just hallucinates his dog as a man in a
That's a total of 148 dogs.
oh
Good.
god.
Thank you for keeping track. Thank you for keeping track.
Thank you.
Are
Thank
you
you.
making a dog? Now,
I feel
I assume you'd
weird.
be doing that with magic.
Yeah, because I do feel strange that 4 people just walk across a dog park. No dog. 4 very visibly interesting people walking to the dog park. No dog. And
Mhm.
just start like corralling a golden retriever, I think was what we decided.
I do have my beast noun in my spell deck. Should you need it. Because we can all contribute, right?
No,
Oh, never mind.
no. One of you does the spell. But the good news is it doesn't cost you anything unless you decide to burn the page, which doubles the value, but then you have to get rid of it. Otherwise, it just remains part of your spell deck.
I mean, I don't have to make the dog, but I could make the dog.
We could also just like pretend that one of our dogs is gone and we're just like checking the dog park for them. And then we can be like, hey, have you seen a dog? We just have to agree on what this non-existent dog looks like. We can just sometimes, Lunchbox, you can just lie. Sometimes you can just lie.
All right.
Yeah.
Can I be honest with you?
Yeah.
I do like lying. I do like it. I love it, actually.
Well,
And when I said I wanted to be honest about what we were doing,
was that a lie?
I hoped that involved lying. Yeah.
I'm so
Also, Raven guarantee has like a choker collar on, right? Can we just like use that and be like, Little Rex, where are you?
Okay, and so one, Raven will definitely give you the collar that he's wearing
Excellent.
to do this, but also hearing it said that we need to agree on the description, I think there just needs to be a montage of each one of us going up to people and asking for a markedly different dog.
As we like slowly circle closer and closer to Greg and Sunshine.
I'm very confused.
Mm-hmm.
The book says all of us can contribute a word to a spell. We're not
Is that
allowed
true?
to. Yes.
Oh, well, maybe I read it wrong. My bad.
Which
All
part?
players who contribute a word to the spell must be happy with the effect. During play, you can cast a spell, play any number of
Oh.
cards. Other players can play any number of cards.
Okay. Sorry, I thought we were doing individual.
Not to argue with the
No.
GM.
Argue
That's good to
with-
know. Yeah, please argue,
Argue with
me.
Will.
Please argue with me.
Argue with Will.
Yeah.
It's very rare that I actually read the book
okay.
of the game that I'm playing. And I did this time.
Well, okay. So also this is at the start of the session, so that is not a thing that I knew. So everybody
We're
draw
learning.
3 cards from
Three
your spell
additional?
deck.
Oh, from the spell deck.
Yes.
From our... what am I talking about? Of course.
Yes. From yours.
Anymore. Do I have to shuffle it?
Probably should. I mean, I assume it's not in any kind of order.
It is in... I mean, it's in order as far
It's
as
only
like...
8 cards, so I feel like you can.
I'm shuffling as fast as I can.
I have been shuffling them. Maybe I should have shuffled just like a little bit more because this is crazy.
Okay, I feel like this is pretty shuffled.
So draw
Wait,
3
so-
cards.
Just 3?
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Okay.
I'm very excited for what we're about to do to each other.
Are we gonna make a dog?
No.
Oh.
Are we not making a dog? I
Do
thought
you
we were
re-
making a dog.
Okay, do you guys really want to make a dog? We can make a dog.
It's up to you. I'm just the GM.
I don't know what happened as I was grabbing snacks, but I love the laugh I heard from across the room.
Here's the thing. If we make a dog, are we going to be are we prepared to be responsible for this dog for the entire rest of our lives?
That's true. The dog could last for days, or it could last for minutes.
I mean,
Are we prepared for the emotional journey we will go on of creating life and then watching it die in the form of this dog?
we could. What if we went to a very busy looking business center and just once we were done with the dog, just fucking let it loose?
The dog is still going to disappear from existence in a way that
Right.
I feel I have an issue with creating life.
We can go with the little Rexy idea.
Yeah.
Yeah, we can just look for our lost
Okay.
dog. For
Yeah.
Yeah, you can look for your lost dog.
I appreciate the creativity. I'm not ready to create life in that way. I know you have some experience there with your spider friend, but me not so much.
I wish I could see her one more time.
Forgot about the fucking spider.
How could you forget?
All right.
I mean, you can visit her. She's still at the arcade.
It's not the same.
It's never going to be like it was.
It's
Fair enough.
never gonna be like it was.
Okay. So you're not making a dog. You are showing up to the dog park with Raven's dog collar in hand, walking
It's
around
not a
saying
dog
you're
collar. It's a fashion accessory.
Sorry.
Thank you very much.
There
fashion
is a dog
accessory.
tag on it, okay, but
Sure.
it's not what you think.
I was going to say, this is the 90s. I think these might have been actual dog collars.
I mean, yeah, you're not wrong.
But either way, yeah, you show up and you start asking people, and sure enough, you see a beautiful golden retriever like across the dog park, just sort of running and playing with the other dogs. And then seated very quietly on the bench is just a man in a tan windbreaker. He is bald. clean shaven. His eyes are just sort of looking straight ahead. His hands are just sort of resting in his lap, and he's just staring into space.
Should
Every so
one of
often he
us-
blinks, but like not enough.
Is it like the Pixar like?
A little bit, maybe. Yeah, yeah. It's a little out of sync. His blinks.
I was gonna say if maybe one of us wanted to distract him, but it looks like the world is distraction enough. I pull out a fruit by the foot, and I feed it to Sunshine.
Yeah, so you approach Sunshine, who like sees you coming and kind of like trots away from the other dogs that he was playing with. They run off, and he comes over to you and sits down, and you offer him a fruit by the foot, and I think he is gonna kind of hold up one paw as like a no thank you, and he's gonna say, I really probably
Sunshine.
shouldn't have that.
Raven thinks he's trying to do a high five and moves his hand down.
Good boy.
Don't patronize me.
No, you're right. I'm so sorry. That was really offensive. Scrambling to like roll the fruit by the foot back up. So sorry.
Hey, sorry, just they don't agree with me.
Is it political or?
How would it be political?
I don't know. You said they don't agree with you.
Fruit by the foot. Digestively.
Mm.
Gastronomically speaking.
I think we got it.
So, what can I do for you folks?
So Mortimer Kilbride.
I see. Dangerous guy.
Oh, really?
Pretty big wizard. Sitting on a lot of magic. That's for sure. One of the oldest I've heard.
Like, what if he was just sitting on a little less?
Sure. In theory, sounds great. More for the rest of us. He kind of like sits up with his paws up and then like rubs them together.
Mowgli also says that's great in theory. I've got cheese. Do you want cheese? I have so much cheese.
Of course, the hard part is getting it out from under him.
What do you know about his employees? Or maybe a janitor?
The janitor is still an employee.
He's got plenty of them, but you're not going to have the kind of access you're looking for, I don't imagine.
Who would?
Well, I don't know their name, but there is, a guy like Kilbride, right? A wizard. He's not going to let an opportunity like the Blade Run go to waste. So he sent someone. He's got someone that he pays to compete on his behalf. You probably seen him down there. Razor.
Yeah.
Razor?
Razor.
And, I know that he sends like a liaison to keep an eye on him, make sure he doesn't run off with any of the prize afterwards.
I'm assuming we've all been in the Blade Run. So we would know Razor, right? What's the vibe? Is he great? Is he outstanding at it?
Does he look like he's there because he owes some money to somebody and could maybe use a friend to help him get out of debt?
Unclear. He is a very good competitor, definitely. And I think you would all be familiar. I don't think any of you knew until this moment that he is apparently like working for a wizard when he's competing. Like he's never, he's not like sponsored by Kilbride and Kilbride or anything like that. He just seems like another another racer, another competitor. But
Fuck. I can't believe we have a traitor in the Blade Run.
I mean, Kilbride might have some leverage on him. It wouldn't surprise me. Not sure he wants to be working for him. Doubt he does.
True.
So we could talk to him maybe, but we just got to make sure that his liaison doesn't catch us talking to him.
Well, you could talk to him, but I don't think he's going to know much about what you're looking for. Kilbride doesn't trust him. Liaison. That's someone Kilbride trusts.
What do they look like or smell like? I don't know what would be easier for you.
Wow. I could tell you what they smell like, but you'd never be able to. Not with that thing on your face. Sounds like you can't even breathe out of it.
I can smell just fine. Thank you very much.
Well, he like gives a little like some sniff of dismissal in your direction and says, "That's what you think."
Sunshine, you're being so sassy today.
You sniff butts. What are you offended by?
I know, and I know a good butt when I smell one. What can I say?
Oh, I mean, same, but I'm not that blunt about it.
You flirting with me? This is weird.
No, not you.
All right. Look, I don't know their name, but you probably can't miss them. I mean, they're going to look out of place at the Blade Run. Probably like business clothes, maybe a suit. I don't know. Just keep an eye out. You'll see them.
Okay.
They're not smart enough not to wear business clothes.
I don't know if it's that. I don't know if they think they're untouchable.
Yeah, fucking wizards. Fucking wizards, little bitches, dude. They think that they could just come into our space, the Blade Run, and just stomp all over us, take our pogs, and run away unscathed. That's not happening anymore. We're not going to let it happen anymore.
Well, on a good note, at least if they're wearing a suit, they'll stick out like a sore thumb.
And even if they're not wearing a suit, we just got to check out to see who is staring Razor down real hard and who Razor looks back at. Will, is something grating?
Sorry, what?
Something metal
there's a
grating?
saw. There's a saw going. I was trying to figure out what it was. But somebody is using a saw in my neighborhood.
I hate
and I wish they would stop. Yeah, it's bad.
Oh.
It should be illegal to use power tools on a weekend.
I can't agree with that as someone who has been using power tools on the weekend.
Well, if we're wrapping up our conversation with Sunshine and you're going to move on, then it seems like probably a good place to take our break regardless. And it's about that time anyway. And hopefully they'll be done cutting metal
sawing
or whatever.
Whatever the fuck they're doing.
When we get back. So don't go away. Stick around. We will see you in about 10 minutes.
I just named...
This team features Honor, Absol, Mischievous, Ninetales, Espeon, and Lugia.
I've just got a key fleeky named Janet.
I don't even know what that is.
It's the fucking fairy Pokemon that just looks like a bunch of keys.
Oh,
It's so freaking cute.
Wait, what gen? What gen are you playing?
This is X and Y, which is 5.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I played that one.
I mean, X and Y is probably my favorite that I've ever played.
Like
Where
Sun
am
and
I?
Moon.
Oh, there's Joan. So on my actual team, oh, this is going to be spoilers for, not spoilers, but this will be funny for JD. I've got my level 56 Cubone named Carabas. I've got a level 96 Typhlosion named Scotty. I've got a level 43 Gengar named Bambi.
Aww.
We've got a level 75 Howlucha named Hugo. He's the HM buddy. I've got the double blade named Joan d'Arc. And then level 100 Go-Goat, Lavinia.
Lavinia!
Aww.
My baby. My sweet baby girl.
Cab.
ACAB. ACAB does include Lavinia Hale.
It's true.
A Gab in this
Gab.
case.
I've got 2 Chantrews named Logan. I find one that I'm like, you look like this, and then I name them all that. I've got a Dratini named Barbara.
Just fell off my desk. Stop fucking with the cards.
No.
And he opened Outlook for some reason.
He wants to play. Let him
Can't let him
play.
cook.
Can't right now. We're in the middle of a thing.
God. Sounds like an excuse to me.
Being so violent today.
He's so big.
He's very big and he's very sharp. Stop fucking with the cards.
No.
Let him
All right.
eat them.
Let's give him some.
He can have
Yes,
the
he could-
Joker card as a treat.
Yeah.
As a treat.
He deserves to chew.
When are you ever going to use a Joker card?
I'm not. I
real.
just don't think he should eat them.
But they taste so good.
I don't know if that's true. He already just rips cardboard to shreds like it's his job.
As
Well,
he
It
it
is
should.
his job. He's breaking
He
it down so
opened-
it fits easier into your trash can.
He opened
Very
LinkedIn
environmentally
somehow.
friendly.
I don't.
He wants a job.
Yeah, because you're taking away his job of ripping up cardboard.
I'm taking his job. They're taking away our jobs.
And making the frogs gay.
Yeah. For the frogs, man. All right.
For the frogs.
To the frogs.
For the frogs.
Okay. So, speaking of exclamation point pet, you were finishing up. It sounded like talking to Sunshine.
Yeah.
Um, did you get all the information that you wanted / needed, or do
I
you have more?
think so, right?
questions?
I think so. It's like confirmed he's a big deal.
Yeah.
Confirmed he's a big deal. We know that he does have a presence at the Blade Run,
Yeah.
and that the liaison is probably a better point for us to focus on
Hostage.
than Razor, because they are more likely to know actually stuff about getting around in there.
Yeah.
So I think that's pretty good. We just have to go find out who this person is because Sunshine did not know. No, I'm doing it. Didn't know what they looked like.
That is fair.
So
Perfect. So yeah, as you finish up your conversation, Sunshine kind of like gives you all a little nod and looks over towards the park bench and just sort of barks out. You all hear it as English, obviously. Greg. And the man who has just kind of been sitting there staring off into space with his hands in his pockets stands up and walks over and gives you all like one collective little like robot smile almost. Then clips the leash onto Sunshine's collar. And they start to walk away, and Sunshine will call back as they go. Good luck.
There's something about that Greg, man.
Yeah, he's weird.
There's something about this this whole like arrangement they've got going on.
Have you ever heard Greg speak? Do you think they traded brains?
That
Oh.
that is actually a Soviet science fiction novel is about that.
Do you think if
think-
we went up to Greg and said speak very commandingly, he would?
Should we go try it?
I don't want to like piss Sunshine off because we like need to.
Yeah, you don't want
It's
sunshine for your
true.
enemy.
But like maybe
It's
next
true.
time we catch them like not right next to each other.
Whether you've ever seen them not right next to each other.
Well, I mean, like in this situation, they were off talking to us, and Greg was
Yeah.
over there. Like next
Close
time we're
by.
in,
Pretty
yeah,
close by. Yeah.
that might not whatever's going on over there might not be ethical, but like who am I to judge?
So, is that the end of our investigation phase?
I think so. I will say, I think as we're walking away, Raven just automatically starts to put the collar back around his neck and like catches eyes with one of the people that we talked to earlier who's giving him a look and is just like, oh, just putting it here for safekeeping for when we find Rusty. I mean, Rex. Rex. Yeah, this is Rex's collar.
Why does it say Raven?
It's their full name. It's the Rusty Rex Raven.
The third. We're not good with dogs.
That's why it's missing.
Good luck, I guess. They look very concerned. Clutch their pearls. All right. So we are going to go ahead and shuffle the Cuckoo and Sunshine back into our community deck and leave our unplayed cards, the Blade Run and Bastion, on the table for use during the heist, if you want. So now we are going to be moving into the heist itself, at least the first part of said heist, where we are going to figure out what your next move is.
So I think if we're going to the Blade Run, I think we definitely should like for multitasking purposes. At least one of us should probably enter to
Space
keep
cake.
an I was
Yeah, I
gonna say
was
to
gonna
keep an
say
eye on
space cake.
Razor, and maybe there's always the chance to win something.
I mean, all of us could technically enter. I just am most certainly gonna.
I mean, I'm fine to enter. It's just like at least one of us can't enter because they got to find the guy.
They gotta keep track.
I mean, they keep telling me I'm not allowed to enter because I only skateboard. And I need to razor blade.
But
Jan,
what if
how
you glue
dare
it to
they?
your feet?
Then
It's supposed to be no rules. That's a stupid rule.
It's such a stupid rule.
I think you should just say fuck it and do it with your skateboard anyway.
did you bring
Honestly,
your skateboard?
And like you see that it is attached to Raven's backpack. Like he doesn't go anywhere without the skateboard.
Then just do it. What's Barb gonna do? Stop you?
I know.
Oh.
Barb,
I mean, maybe.
Maybe, but like
Would that be a bad thing? I don't know.
to get
depends on the
tackled by
mood, I
Barb.
guess. She might. It really depends on how she's feeling. Because I feel like sometimes she might be like, that's fine. And then sometimes she might be like, how fucking dare you walk into my house? She's real particular like that. I think it's the stress from the job.
What if? I mean, I could also join, but I mean, I'm not the best roller skater.
I mean, that could also be like helpful if you're gonna like if you're fine getting a little bit banged up, you can maybe like clear a path for Space Cake.
Okay. Like, try to knock people out. More of a bully, less of an actual runner.
Yeah.
Cool. I can do that.
Just
Falling
be a
is very
bowling ball.
easy.
Yeah, falling's not against the rules.
Falling's not against the rules.
Taking a few people down with you is also not against the rules.
It's not against the rules. And yet skateboards. What if you disguised it and it just made it look like?
Well, it's not called the board run.
Mind your own business.
Sir?
Like, what
We're
the
not
fuck,
talking
man?
to you.
Jesus.
God. Like, I kind of smelled, right?
Way too close.
Way too close.
Anyway, if you guys enter, you can keep Razor busy and maybe win something. And then we can look around for the liaison. Especially if you give Razor a hard time, that might make it easier for us to pick out who it is.
You know what could be helpful actually is if Raven went in there and just upset. If you did upset Barb, then then Barb wouldn't notice when you maybe kidnapped the liaison.
I don't think Barb's gonna care if we kidnap a guy. That seems like, as long as they're not actually skating. Like, I think Barb would care if we kidnapped a Razor, but I don't think Barb's gonna care if we kidnap like a spectator.
Maybe that's true. And the skateboard is a weapon.
Yeah, take out some shin bones. Oh, a scooter's probably better for that. You can whip it real hard. Anyone got a scooter?
We should get you a scooter, Moth.
Get a Razor scooter.
Razor scooter. God, those are so cool.
I feel like that was more of like a early 2000s thing.
Late 90s, early 2000s.
We're allowed.
Okay.
All right.
Interesting.
Like we said this earlier.
Yeah,
there's magic.
Yeah.
Okay.
My
It's magic?
Walkman plays 80s, 90s, and today. And whatever that means, because technically.
Because it's magic. Sure, yeah. That's fine.
Yeah.
Are we pre or post 1994?
I was gonna say, also, scooters did exist. They just weren't
I'm sure.
Razor scooters.
Razor scooters.
Did
I feel
Heelys
like
exist?
Specifically.
No. Those I do know are very specifically 2000s.
I do like the idea
Can
that
I
Moth
invent the
is like,
Heeley?
Moth has this magic Walkman. It's just like, dude, I don't know who these Kendrick or Drake guys are, but they hate each other.
They fucking hate each other.
These men, so angry.
So angry.
Okay, so going to the Blade Run.
Absolutely go into the Blade Run.
Okay, all right. So yeah, you you all roll up. The Blade Run is a weekly event, as we have established, and for the purposes of the mechanics, you will probably be using magic during the race. That is encouraged. We also have the Blade Run community card that you can spend to factor into this at any point. So it could be during the Blade Run itself. You could save it in case you need it during, like, whenever you decide to try to abscond with this employee of Mortimer Kilbride, but just reminding you that it's on the table whenever you want to spend it. But once you spend it, it is spent for the mystery, for the heist. But it is a weekly event, and you show up at the now long defunct, as we've established, Pleasant Point has a defunct subway system that used to run under the city. It was shut down because there were all of these strange, unaccounted for, mysterious disappearances that kept happening. And eventually the city couldn't figure out what was happening, and they felt like they were left with no other choice but to just shut it down. And they promised that they would be sweeping the tunnels, and everything would be back up and running soon. And that was like probably almost 10 years ago now. Every so often you've heard stories about like when in the early days of it being shut down, when they would try to send crews down there to like verify that things were okay or to work on it, and they just never came back. Now you pull up at the entrance, or you meet at the entrance, which is a closed off, boarded up uh, subway station off of and the starting point is always the same, because it is the Hedge Street subway station entrance, except that at some point the H was removed or worn away, and so now it's just the Edge Street subway station.
Hell yeah.
And that is where you always meet and congregate for the start of the Blade Run. It is boarded up, it is locked up tight, it is closed off, but you all know which of the doorways that is boarded up and chained off is actually just a sort of a permanent illusion. You can walk right through.
We roll through.
Yeah. And the effects appear to be even more magical than that, because not only is it closed off, or not only is it hidden from view, but when you walk in, you automatically hear a lot more. You automatically hear a lot of music being played, a lot of sort of like loud industrial music, kind of like to get people in the mood. And you see, as you descend the stairs into the subway station where the platform's set up, there are people just standing by as spectators on like either side of the platform. There are people like sitting on coolers, handing out drinks, cans of beverages, whether they are, alcoholic or not. They kind of got everything that you need. But mostly you see a lot of very serious looking people like starting to strap rollerblades on. And I think immediately the figure that you see with the most people clustered around them, because they have a clipboard in their hands and are taking down names. You see a tall woman, probably like pushing 6 feet tall, kind of has that hairstyle of where it's like almost completely shaved, except for like the sort of like the curl in the front, which is just like blue or black rather. And that's the only hair on her head. The rest of it is fully shaved. She's wearing a flannel shirt with the sleeves ripped off, where you can see two very strong, muscular arms, very sort of bulgy biceps, and each arm has just a tattoo that starts at the shoulder of barbed wire running around down to the wrist. And this is Barb. This is Barb Wire, who is currently taking down names of people who are going to be participating in tonight's Blade Run. When you walk in, she looks like she is answering questions. Somebody comes up to her and whispers something in her ear, and she raises her arms over her head. Almost immediately, everybody kind of falls silent on the subway platform to listen to her. And she says, "All right, welcome." She has like kind of this like deepish, like sonorous voice that echoes, and she says, "All right, deviants and daredevils, welcome to tonight's Blade Run."
Wow.
Yeah, people go crazy. People start cheering. And she says, "You know the drill. You sign up. You're taking your life into your own hands. We're not responsible for what happens. You win, you get glory, and you get spells. fails, you lose, well, I hope you said goodbye to your loved ones. Tonight, we're doing the red line. There's more cheers. A few people who were like standing in line to sign up for it start looking a little more nervous. You know that there's like several lines named after the subway lines of the abandoned subway system. The red line is by far the most dangerous.
Oh,
We lost JD, but
Oh no.
he should be back.
Pity. Raven, too afraid of that red line.
Hello?
Hello.
The red line is not conducive for skateboards.
Skateboards.
The red line is very dangerous in general, both just like magically and regularly. There are lots of like sections of broken track, a lot more obstacles that you have to contend with, and a lot more of those like strange dangers that people claim to have experienced during various blade runs. So if you're brave enough, then sign up. And yeah, then she lowers her arms and people go back to talking amongst themselves. Some of the people who are waiting to sign up kind of like slink to the back, like, I might just watch tonight, actually. The other figure that I think you see and clock right away is Razor, who is always here. They are mask presenting person wearing a black t-shirt, like the remains of a black t-shirt that has like holes all over it. It was some band, but you can't really even make out the name anymore. No sleeves on this one either, but like the midriff has been cut into like fringe. And you can see them strapping on these like neon glowing skates that have actual razor blades like intertwined with the laces.
Are they romanceable?
They look good.
I
but
didn't even
they
get to
work
say half their
for
head is
them.
shaved. The other half is just this bright electric blue color that like comes over to one side. And they have
Holding back Raven.
a lot of facial piercings. Yeah. They look very bored. They're like chewing gum, blowing a bubble as they sort of lean casually against one of the columns.
I know they look good, but remember, they're Kilbride's little lapdog. Until proven otherwise. Lapdog.
Yeah, it's fine. You know, they're not even my type. Like, whatever.
I think you could fix them.
I think I could too. I think you're right on that, but like I said, they're not my type.
Oh,
Right.
Barb. Our good buddy.
Spacey. You signing up tonight?
Of course. And I think my buddies here also are gonna roll the run. Who was it that was joining me?
Hey, Barb. I am. I hope it's okay. I don't do I just do the skates, not the blades. I can't find any of my size.
She raises her eyebrow at you, and then I think she kind of like tracks over, and her eyes like full on moth, and she's like, I don't even think I know your name. You ever done the run before?
I have, actually.
Okay. Because I just didn't notice.
It's fine, I probably didn't tell you I was doing it.
Interesting. I would recommend doing that in the future. You don't get anything if I don't know that you're competing. Just that's how it works. Okay. All right. Well. Okay.
Hands-on practice is very important.
Sure. Yeah, I agree. All right. Well, I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but skates, no. Skateboard, no.
Come on, Barb.
Nope.
Barb,
The
Non-negotiable.
whole point
this is
supposed to be no rule.
discrimination. You think you can find rollerblades for these? And I just lift up my tiny little foot.
I can lend you some, for sure. Both of you, if you want to compete, but no to the rest of it. It's called the Blade Run.
Barb. Fine, I'll take them.
I'm not even sure you could do it with anything else, but I'm sure not going to let you die trying.
I thought you just made a speech about letting people die trying.
I mean, if they compete and then something happens to them, fine. They knew what they were signing up for. I'm not just going to let somebody go in and commit suicide.
Give me the damn blades.
And she'll like kind of point at somebody who's standing over by like a series of those like Rubbermaid storage containers and says, Roxy will fix you up.
I start putting on a second layer of socks.
Raven, are you also taking the offered rollerblades?
No, Raven's gonna instead stay off to the side
Okay.
to help Moth.
All right. Do Moth and Moth is competing or not competing?
No, Moth is not competing.
Moth's not competing. So then does Space Cake have dedicated rollerblades? And if
Of
so,
course.
what do they look
course.
like?
They are, oh god, so they're very bright colored. There's like wavy lines that are on the boot itself that are like blues and pinks and purples, and then like the like supporting is like a gradient of purple to pink with the straps being purple, and the wheels are teal and purple, and then there's like a little bit of like fluffy fabric that's peeking out of the top that's like green and blue. I do have pictures to show you all, but I can't show everybody else, obviously. But yeah, that is the vibe. And
Hell
I like
yeah.
to think that she has put little bits of candy, like wrapped it around. So you see different letters. So you there's plur on one, but also then a cab on the other, you know. Gotta have a little balance.
Yeah. And yeah, I mean, I think as you're like lacing up, Barb is gonna kind of like, casually lean over and say, obviously, as the organizer, you can't play favorites, but have I ever told you how much I like those blades?
You know what? I might get you a set. Next
Trying to
solstice.
flirt smoothly, and I spilled coffee everywhere. Is what I get. I mean, I don't think they're my style exactly, but you pull them off.
Oh. Well, thank you.
I mean, maybe I could pull them off, but that'd be different circumstances.
They'd look great on your floor, I'm sure.
Well, I'll tell you what. You win. Maybe we'll talk.
You got my number.
I will be right back. I do have to get paper towels.
Yeah. This exchange goes on, and Moth just turns to Lunchbox and is like, Lunchbox, you have to take Razor out at the knees.
Nancy Kerrigan, that bitch.
I think we could. I think we could do that.
I believe in you.
Do you need any sort of snacks while you wait?
Me? No. I'm gonna get one of those sodas out of there. Because, I haven't had enough. But like, I don't feel like I should eat down here.
I mean, I got drinks too, just not soda, because that's a lot to carry around.
That's a lot to carry around. Here's the thing. I like to have a can or a glass bottle in general because they're like great for throwing. You get the right angle, you can do a lot. But like snacks, I mean, they're just messy.
Don't do this, Moth.
Listen,
That's as good as it's
No.
gonna get. What are we talking
what?
about? Are we throwing
Boss.
things at people?
It's not a first option. It's just an option. If I need to do something, I have something to throw. You should always listen. You should always have something that you are ready to just pick up and throw. You have to. You gotta. Look at me. Look at me. Lunchbox. Look at me. Look at me. Look at me. If I'm just I don't have a piercing. I don't have a piercing to my name. People don't take me seriously down here. I have to be ready to grind glass into their faces if it comes to it. I have to.
And you don't want to do that while you're chewing on some, gushers or something.
No, but do you have gum? I'll take some gum.
Yes. And I hand you like
Zebra stripe.
like
at least.
it's like Bazooka Joe. Like I give you a few, and I'm like, you're gonna need a few because I'm gonna be honest. The it doesn't last very long, so you might want to pop a couple, just like one right after the other. But save the comics, okay? Because I do like to collect those.
I will keep all the comics for you for when you get
Thank
back.
you. Right.
Chrissy?
This run, people use magic in it, right?
Yeah, you definitely
Okay.
have to.
You gotta.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Gotta.
I have an idea.
Good.
All right. Well, fittingly, that is around the time where Barb raises her arms over her head and calls out again, runners to the start. And you get into position. And you see, there's a lot of people competing. There always are. Most of them are going to back out before the first turn or wipe out or something like that. It is very rare for people to die or not return at all. People get injured for sure, but you see Razor lining up. You maybe recognize a few other faces as well, but I think most notably for the people not competing, Moth and Raven. Lunchbox, you are racing?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, cool. Right, you got the loner skates.
I got the loner
Lunchbox
skate.
has loner skates and a job to do.
I got
true.
a job to do. I got kneecaps to pop.
In the name of spells and love.
Yeah, exactly.
Moth and Raven, as you are seeing everybody line up and start taking their positions, the crowd kind of pushes forward to the edge of the subway platform, which is not very high up off the ground, to be clear, but
So high up.
for Lunchbox, yes, absolutely.
They got a lower lunchbox down in there.
Lunchbox, you have to get down there, you have to sit down and then kind of
Thank you.
But as people are pushing to the edge and lining up to watch, I think you see sort of towards the back, you do see just a guy who looks very out of place. He's a little bit on the taller side. He's a little bit lean, and he is wearing a black suit and sunglasses, even though you are inside. His hair is brown. There's nothing really noticeable about him. You can't really tell because of the suit, but from his facial structure, you would say that he is probably in pretty good shape. And he's just kind of standing there, not really talking to anyone, hands in his pockets. Maybe you see Razor, who's lining up, kind of Razor has these hot pink aviators, and you maybe see Razor sort of turn and look and kind of lower the aviators a little bit and maybe makes eye contact with the guy in the suit, but it's hard to say for sure.
Maybe if Lunchbox takes him out good enough, you can nurse him back to health.
I like the way you think.
Yeah.
Just Florence Nightingale that bitch.
Okay. Space Cake and Lunchbox, you are lined up and ready to go. And
Can we side by side. I was gonna say straddle. I don't know if that's the right terminology. Like hot dog him. Razor in the middle.
Oh
and wear the
yeah, making
buns.
the meat to our sandwich. Yeah.
I was gonna say surround.
Yeah.
Flank him?
Sounds good to me. I love that. You all understood. That's all you need for language.
Exactly.
You're so right. You're so right.
So valid.
Everyone is kind of split up into two sides as you line up to start the blade run. Barb is definitely standing in the middle. Yes?
Is the third rail still on?
No.
Okay.
No. Except maybe in some places it is. I mean, weird things happen during the blade run. You need magic, remember?
That's true. That's true. Watch your
Not
shit.
for the faint of heart. People tend to avoid the third rail, but, you know, better safe than sorry. And Barb kind of like standing there facing all of the competitors who have kind of like split into two sides because when she lowers her arms, they're going to race past her. Razor is probably like somewhere up near the front. I don't know. It's kind of like racers to the starting line so that you're all starting from an even position. And Barb kind of like once again raises her heavily muscled tattooed arms over her head and calls out there's a call and response before the race always, and she raises her arms and she calls out, "Die never," and everybody answers, "Skate forever."
Skate forever.
And she lowers her arms and the blade run begins. Everybody takes off out into the subway tunnels.
Immediately, Lunchbox just like reaches out and grabs the first person in front of them and just kind of like
Okay, yeah. I mean, they're definitely like gonna like you start skating and they're kind of like pulling you along. It probably takes them a second to realize that you're holding on to them, and I think like pretty quickly they're like, let go of me. What are you doing?
Don't worry, you're not the one I'm after. And then I'm gonna try to like my
Just
goal
make your way up the ranks.
is to just like Tarzan swing.
Okay, all right.
Grabbing onto people.
Right.
As I try to catch up to Space Cake and Razor, because I probably am immediately just like left behind.
Yes, no, I definitely think that is true. Yeah, you can absolutely do that. I do think that you're gonna have to use magic if you want to like compete at the level that like they are.
I will eventually.
Okay.
For now, I'm just Tarzan. I'm keeping like my eyes on them, but just kind of like keeping guard of the situation while I'm like, oops, sorry.
Yeah. Okay, cool. Space Cake, you're a little more experienced in this regard. So, are you taking the lead?
Yes, and one of the things that Space Cake is gonna do is she's going to whisper real low, and I'm gonna cast my spell that has Beast.
Okay. Is this all right? So you're casting this spell. Are you happy with just that one card? What is the value on that?
That was a 6.
Okay, so that is just barely a jinx. It would have a noticeable effect on the world that might last for up to an hour, or cause permanent physical change depending on the spell. Some jinxes can be explained away by people who don't know magic. It might affect a whole room, depending on what you want. So, it's not a cantrip. It depends on the effect that you want from this.
I want to have a Lisa Frank looking leopard appear in front of me with like a leash attached
like
to pull me along, and yes, like a little sled dog, making me a little faster.
Okay, cool. I dig that, and yes, absolutely. I think that's totally fine. You cast that spell. So that card, you keep that card. You don't have to put it away, because you haven't burned the page or anything like that. And then the At least I think that's the case. I don't think you lose the spell.
I'm pretty sure we don't.
Yeah, no.
Maybe not permanently, but like that's what I was gonna ask. When do we like re-up? Like,
So
can I?
those are technically the 3 cards you have. It says at the start of this session, you pull
Okay.
3 cards.
Okay.
So, yeah, the way that's explained is that it's hard for you to spells are slippery and you can only hold 3 in your mind at once. So,
Can we use some more than once a session?
yes, unless
Okay.
you rip a page, which is a thing where you can double the power value for the spell, but you destroy the card basically. And it's permanently removed from your grimoire. Yeah, so I think you have those 3 cards for this session, and then at the start of the next session, you're supposed to draw 3 more cards, and they might be the same, they might be different.
Outstanding.
Cool. So yeah, you cast your beast spell, and the you create this leopard that like immediately takes off and starts pulling you farther up to the front. You can see some of the other racers are starting to do their own spells. You see some of them, their skates just start to glow. One of them, their like body takes on this sort of ethereal quality. They become very see-through. Most notably, um, I think you see Razor almost like the there's like a hard blue light edge to the wheels of their rollerblades. And like as they start like pushing themselves, forward more and more, they almost seem to be like cutting through like space itself, like almost like folding space underneath the blades as they are not necessarily going faster, but just covering more distance in like less time than everybody else. But yeah, you are gaining for sure. I don't know that is gonna put you in the edge, but you can definitely keep up with Razor at the very least.
Amazing.
Yeah. Um, and yeah, you like continue racing along with everybody else. You start turning corners. It starts to get a little more hazardous. Like there's like a blockade that comes up um, where you basically have to jump to grind on like the guardrail that's like on the side as it descends further down into the red line tunnel. Um, yes.
Can I use shadow to impede his vision whenever we're supposed to do the jump? Impede their vision.
Interesting. Yeah, I think so. What card is that? What's that?
It's 9.
Ooh, all right. Still a jinx, which is good. It doesn't add any heat. Um, I am gonna pull a card. This is not explicitly in the normally like you compete with wizards, but we're doing opposed spellcasting. And so I think okay, all right. I'm gonna pull some cards for Razor. Okay, let's see. You said it was a 9?
Yes.
Okay. All right.
I'll say every time you say Razor, I just think about what's his fucking face and the I literally just had the word in my mind and it just went fuck
no.
you.
Mm-hmm.
It literally just went get fucked. The
no.
fucking Disney thing with Jeff Bridges.
Tron?
Yes.
I
Tron,
love
yeah. I was a
Tron.
Troy, but
Oh,
Tron,
okay,
yeah.
Yeah. Every time I just like in the back of my head, it's just like, and it's this bitch. I'm like, ah! Shoo.
Okay. Yeah, you go to throw shadow at Razor, and you said that was a 9?
Yes.
Okay. That was a 9. So Razor is going to like kind of sense it coming. You throw shadow, and I think it does sort of wrap around him briefly, but he's gonna sort of call out. I don't know if he knows exactly who did it, but he's gonna say, "Nice try," and then he just sort of explodes in this like that same sort of hard blue light that you can see covering his skates, and it just sort of rips through the shadow that you created, and he hits the rail the same way you do. And I think actually like there are two rails on either side. You are definitely the two front runners, so like you can grab the other one. When he skates down his, it gets shredded in the process, like literally shredded, and is just like left sort of it's these like metal ribbons trailing behind, so nobody who tries to use that rail can after him.
Wow.
Uh, yeah, the race continues. Lunchbox, what are you doing? 'Cause at a certain point, people are going to start throwing elbows at you if you keep trying to like
if they
ping pong off of them.
No, I was keeping an eye on Space Cake and Razor. I was told I need to take Razor down, right? Pop a kneecap. So what I'm gonna do, as I see like that they are shredding the like line, I think to try to help Space Cake and maybe also fuck up some people behind, like that are still racing, just to make sure Space Cake wins, basically. Is I'm going to cast Slime.
Okay.
I'm going to cast Slime.
That's a huge card.
I'm a small person, so
this is a bit. I get it. All right, we're doing prop work today.
I'm casting Slime. And I think what I'll do is I at one point, if it's possible, I don't know where to aim this.
Well, so what is the value?
It's 7.
Okay, so with the 7, it's like you maybe have like the area of a whole room to work with. Like,
okay, in that case, like, because Space Cake and Razor are kind of like side by side, right down this tunnel.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to reach into my little lunchbox. I'm gonna pull out a Kool-Aid blaster or whatever the fuck they were called, bright fucking blue,
a Kool-Aid
and I
jammer?
shake that Kool-Aid jammer. I shake that motherfucker up, and I just like
throw it like a grenade.
I'm gonna like, I'm shaking it, I pop it, and I'm just gonna like, I'm squirting it all in front, like on Razor, and then like trying to get people behind me as well. And as it like settles, it, instead of just like staying wet, it like coagulates into like blue.
I get it. I like it.
Snot type.
Understand. Now,
and hopefully we'll just like slime and stick onto people's wheels and gunk them up.
Okay, all right.
It's sticky. It's sweet. It's blue.
I do think you were gonna have to decide.
It smells like blue raspberry, but also toxic chemicals.
I do think you were gonna have to decide if you were spraying this ahead of Space Cake and Razor to try to catch Razor, or to stop everybody that's behind you. Now, I mean, you could also upgrade the spell by adding more descriptors or a club card for power. A hex would affect like a building, and that would be enough to get, I think, everybody. But since you only have like the area of a room to work with, you got to go before or back. Slime is a 7. Yeah, what's the other one?
Let's do it. A 5.
Okay, all right, with a club.
So,
cool.
Yeah, I take out one. I'll squirt it out like the people behind us. It's not enough, and I like pop out a few different colors, and I'm just like, I start just like,
I
just
think
like fire hosing all over the.
I would like to add, if you do have to throw one like a grenade, you specifically have to switch it to the jug juices.
Oh my god, yes.
Little
Yeah,
Java
yeah.
juice.
Those are
After
those are
I run out, I run out of the Kool-Aid jammers and I
What were they called? Hugs?
I will look at Space Cake as I like kind of catch up to Razor. I just want to say it's all you, Space Cake. And I pop it and I like I'm gonna grab Razor and just like explode.
Okay. All right, so you're grabbing Razor and sliming both of you. Like a grenade. Okay,
yeah,
all right,
like
cool,
a grenade.
cool.
And hopefully stopping as many people as I can behind me.
Okay, all right.
I
Cool.
love this so much.
I'm just grabbing it like his waist. Just
Okay, awesome. Yeah, I think this is a hex. So you've upgraded this to a hex.
yes.
There is it could because it is a hex, the effect will might last for days and affects like a building's worth. So you are creating this. It is going to it's going to add 1 heat. So we have a clock of 6 heat, and we are up to 3 because it starts with 1 on it, and then we had 1 earlier, and then now we have this as well. We had 1 earlier from your starting position.
Mhm.
Every time you use a club card to increase the power of a spell, there is a negative consequence that I get to describe. So you
Bring
do
it.
this, you catch Razor, you everybody that's behind you, which is like everybody else that's competing, also hits that same sort of like sticky web mass of like sugar slime that you've created.
A wave of slime.
Yeah, and they get caught in it for sure. You have made a lot of enemies because you have effectively knocked everyone else out of the
I bet
blade
you they're all
round.
part of fucking their bashes, boys. Fucking hell.
You didn't see bastards tonight at the edge run. Sometimes they're there, sometimes they're not. But like they consider themselves pretty hardcore. Rollerblading's not really their thing.
I'm grabbing onto him and I'm yelling back, it's for the greater good.
it's for love.
It's for love. You understand?
Razor's just like
just
fuck
like
you,
stuck
man.
to
Fuck
him.
you. This sucks.
Just like gooped.
He's like using the razor blades, like he's stuck in it. He's using the razor blades to his skates to like try to cut himself out. And like he'll do it eventually, but like he had his even the combined values of his spells is not enough to overcome this effect. So yeah, he gets stuck and then he takes off as soon as he is able to extricate himself. Everyone else is just like, oh, freaking Lunchbox. I hate that guy. I hate Lunchbox. You've made a lot of enemies tonight at the edge run.
I'll win him back.
People are like, you're not even going to win.
It's not about winning.
It's literally about winning.
It's not about winning. It's about friendship. It's about love.
Shut up, Lunchbox.
It's I pop open like some cheese balls or something because I'm just like stuck in the goop.
Yeah.
Everyone's just stuck in the goop until the cleanup crew comes.
I start like throwing it at people with open mouths. I'm like, if you're hungry.
Everybody else for those of you waiting at the other end of the edge run back at the entrance, the starting point, I think you as you're standing there, are you doing anything during the race itself?
I think so.
Yeah.
Raven's gonna look at Moth and say, I've got an idea for how to be a distraction.
Okay.
Well, you know, if we're trying to get a hostage, you know, you're quiet and unassuming, and you know, people tend not to notice you. I'm gonna get his attention on me, and you do whatever you think is right.
Yeah. Sounds good.
And so Raven's gonna sidle over to the guy who looks so out of place and just be like, so are you buying or selling?
And he doesn't even like look at you. He just like continues looking straight ahead. He says, "Not interested, kid."
You a cop?
You have to tell me.
I think at that he will look over at you and just kind of like, he doesn't move the sunglasses or anything, but he just sort of like looks in your direction. You can't really make out if he's looking at you or not. He doesn't answer you.
Because you got to tell me if you're a cop.
I'm busy. Move along.
Yeah, what are you busy with? Trying to narc on some people?
I said, I'm busy. Move along.
What, you doing some like underground gambling type shit?
Can you not hear me? You don't want this. You don't want to piss me off.
Because you're a cop.
Because I will hex your mouth off of your face if you don't stop talking to me.
That would be really rude.
Yeah, it would be.
Do you think that would stop me?
He's gonna try to like leave. He's gonna just sort of like huff and try to like walk away from you.
I would like to drop my skateboard and try to make it go under his feet.
Okay. I think you can do that. Yeah, he stumbles a little bit and he looks like he's about to do something about it and then like stops himself, like physically just like takes a deep breath and keeps walking away. It's clear that he wants to like throw a punch at you or maybe do the magic threat but he is trying very hard to not cause a scene. Even if that means like letting go how pissed off you have him.
And Raven's just going to glance over at Moth at that point.
You do, yeah. I mean, you have his attention. I would say if Moth, if you want to try to do something, but he's definitely just trying to like move away from Raven so that he can go back to watching the edge run, the blade run.
Yeah, I think what happens is when they like turn away to like look away from Raven, I would like to think that Moth is standing right there, and Moth's just gonna reach up and hit them right in the nose with a little boop, and I just want to cast Stone.
Okay, and in this case, what do you imagine that does?
In this moment, I would like to imagine that it turns them into a nice little stone that I can just pick up and put into my pocket and then just
like
walk out.
Small, like it doesn't turn them to like a statue, like it turns them into a little rock.
Grip it, baby.
I just want to turn them into something I can put in my pocket,
down,
like a little skipping stone.
Yeah, dude, crack one for the
Thank you
big
for the
boy.
donation.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
It's just like that kid's book.
Yeah, I just like
What is
I got
it?
real up close to them because they weren't paying attention to me. People don't, and I just boop them right on the nose, put them in my pocket, and that's a 7.
Hell yeah.
That's a 7. Okay, all right, cool.
So okay, with that, Will, just gonna ask this first.
Yeah.
You had said, Chrissy had pointed out that it does say we can contribute spells.
Yes, yeah, no, absolutely. Spells
Okay.
are composites.
Because I would like to help out my friend with this with a 4 of spades, that in this case is change.
Okay. I like it. So that brings us to what, an 11?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So that is still technically a jinx. That does increase the spell power. I will let you know.
Mm-hmm.
I will let you know you'd have to go up a little bit higher. It's up to you if you want to go with the 11, but I will let you know that he has magic because he threatened to hex your mouth off your face. And if you want to overcome him in this opposed spell cast, you will have to go up a little bit higher.
Okay. So I can do that. I did pull one of my power level cards when I drew my 3. So I do have that at my disposal, which I guess brings up the question, if you don't draw one of those cards, you can't like put a card back and shuffle in. I don't know how that works exactly.
Sorry, could you repeat that?
I pulled the power card. Does that one stay in like the rest of them, or does that operate differently than the other cards?
No, it's the same as the other cards, unless
Okay.
you like burn the page. But it just when you spend a power card, it also has an unintended negative consequence. Which
Gotcha.
tell you.
Gotcha.
You could spend multiple on the same spell, but it compounds. It might not be that bad of a thing, but it's up to you if you want to risk it. That would move you up to a hex if you wanted to spend a power card automatically.
Or can we use instead? Can we use the card of the Blade Run itself, because people are distracted by the fact that like this is happening?
You absolutely can.
Like,
you have the 9 of spades for the Blade Run.
Yeah.
In the community deck you can spend.
Yeah.
Okay. Very cool.
If nobody has any objections to that, use it so that I can abduct this man.
All right. And so how much, what does that bring the total up to? We had 11 and that's 9, so 20.
Mm-hmm.
That is just barely an enchantment, which is going to add 2 heat. Brings us up to 5, but that is exactly what you needed. His total value was still in hex territory, so you've one-upped him by moving into enchantment. It has a huge effect. It may last for up to 2 weeks. That's up to you, basically. But yes, right now, he just it happens basically. You combine your efforts. Moth, you cast this spell. 1 second, he is like in Raven's face, and the next second there's like maybe like a legit little poof, and then just like a little rock. So,
I just pick
like,
him up,
tick, 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 tick.
put him in my windbreaker pocket. I zip the pocket so he's not going to fall out.
Cool.
And I'm like, all right.
You turned a human being into a little pebble.
Yep.
And he's now in your pocket.
Yep.
And
so look, this works out for us. We got the man. You probably will have a chance to talk to Razor because there's not going to be this guy looking over his shoulder. And Space Cake's gonna win.
Which means they get a date.
It's true. All right. And I think people start to like clamor and make a lot of noise at this moment as they see like a magical light pouring out of the other end of the tunnel, and Barb walks over and like jumps back down onto the tracks and is like basically announcing and saying it looks like this week's Blade Run is going to be a quick one, gang. Our winner is coming around the track right now, and it looks like, and as this like Lisa Frank colored was it a leopard? Yeah, a leopard like leaps out of the tunnel, dragging like on this like rope of light. Space Cake. Are you doing anything for your big entrance? Your win, Space Cake?
You know what? I think that I let the leopard like roar for me.
Nice. Hell yeah. Cool. People cheer and people go crazy. It almost drowns out Barb announcing, Space Cake is the winner. And yeah, people like clamor around to congratulate you and to give you like, pats and shake your hand and stuff like that. And Barb shortly after that, like the other people start to pour through the loser's lunchbox. Do you just stay stuck in the?
It does say it lasts for days. So while
It does.
Space Cake is like doing the rest of the race, I think Lunchbox is like able to crawl out and just starts being like, if you stay bad, you won't be able to get out for a few days, but I can get you out right now if you promise you won't be mad at me. I mean, it's up to you. Do you want to stay here the whole weekend, or do you want to go do something with your
It
life?
kind of feels like you're holding us hostage. It kind of feels like you're literally holding us hostage right now.
I was told this was not a kidnapping, so I think we're all right.
Okay, fine. We're not mad at you, I guess.
Okay, cool. And I think I'll take like one of those just to flavor. I'll take like a fun like curly straw and just like slurp all of the Kool-Aid.
Disgusting.
Disgusting. Like
We're just standing on the thing and we just hear it from like down the tunnel, just the
it's like a loud echoing slurp sound. I'm just like,
Oh.
oh, God, so refreshing, truly.
People, yeah, the rest of the racers start like moving past you. They definitely like shoulder bump you a couple times, yeah, for Moth and Raven and Space Cake, if you're paying attention, but there's a lot of people around trying to congratulate you right now. You see Razor like come out of the other end of the tunnel before everybody else because he was able to cut himself out of the juice slime, and he like looks angry, looks pissed off, but you also see him like looking around for like somebody that's maybe not there anymore because they're a pebble in your pocket. Just kind of like look like doing the Pulp Fiction John Travolta thing of like,
go get him. Let's go see what maybe he knows.
I said, I said they weren't really my type.
You're gonna lie to me? Me.
Okay, maybe I don't know how to talk to people.
You're talking to me. I'm people.
Yeah, but I'm not attracted to you, no offense.
That's fine. That's irrelevant.
All right, I'll go try to talk to them, and Raven will make his way towards Razor.
okay, very cool. So I think you do that, and as you do that, Space Cake, for you, Barb like kind of like elbows her way through the crowd and like hands you like holds out in like two fingers this like folded up piece of like parchment paper, which I think you can already sort of feel the magic radiating off of for your prize. And yeah, she holds it out for you to take it, and when you do, she kind of says, my number's in there too, in case you forgot it.
I love when hot women are in the prize pool. What are you doing tomorrow?
I guess that's up to you.
You're letting me buy you dinner.
Normally I'm more of a business person, but all right.
You're letting me serve you dinner.
Happy to be served.
I'll call you.
I know.
What words did I get?
Yeah, that's a great question. So what I was going to say, this is a little bit outside of the normal rules for the game, but we're just going to roll with it. I think just pull a card from your deck, and you'll add
Amazing.
that to your spell deck. You can Cool. 10 of clubs.
Oh,
Talk about
shit.
10 of clubs. Hell yeah. All right,
Am I
cool.
writing
Do
a word
we-
on? Wait, this
No,
clubs
clubs
wasn't
No,
a
clubs
word.
is just
Okay,
power,
okay.
yeah.
Clubs is power. You don't have to write anything on it. So that's very good.
Shit.
Outstanding.
And the way the clubs work is they do contribute their value as power. So like it also bumps it up automatically to the next level. So a jinx
Mhm.
automatically becomes a hex. But if you are like opposing a hex with your hex, then the value of the card also factors into it. So like it's a little bit complicated, but 10 of clubs, fantastic card to draw and add to your spell deck.
truly.
But that
What a
goes into
win.
like my big deck. I can't
You're-
like sacrifice one of the 3 and take it right now.
Well, for this session, you'll pull 3 cards at the start of their next session, and
Okay.
we're about to finish up for the night,
Okay.
or for the day. So don't worry about it.
I just go over and I lean over and pull Lunchbox out from the from the drop so that they're back up with the rest of us.
legs kicking.
Don't worry, no one's mad at me.
Everybody is definitely mad at Lunchbox.
Babe, who could be mad at you? Babe, who could ever be mad at you?
I don't know. There was some confusion about if it was kidnapping or not, but I told them what you said, which is it's not. So
Yeah. They're all walking out of here of their own volition, on their own 2 legs.
exactly. I'd gotta return these skates too. I just pull off like they're just covered in like blue gunk, and just I stick them together and just throw them back into the tub.
Roxy also looks mad at you. Also looks pretty angry.
Roxy, thank you. And I slide her one of those pizza Lunchables.
Thanks, Lunchbox.
Got you. You know I got your back anytime.
See you next time, I guess.
You know it.
Okay. So yeah, Raven, you were trying to talk to Razor, who again is just kind of like I think now has probably moved over to leaning against one of the columns of the subway station and taking his blades off.
And Raven approaches very hesitantly, like looking back over his shoulder at Moth a handful of times, even though Moth is now focused on Lunchbox. And then it is just like, hey Razor, good race.
No, it wasn't. Were you even paying attention?
I mean, yeah, I know you didn't win, but like you did some really sick shit there.
Your little friend cost me that race.
Lunchbox? I'm sure they're really not good at this, so like I'm sure it was an accident.
Well, you know it's not going to be an accident. Is my payback.
Hot. Yeah.
What?
I don't know. I
How-
panicked.
How aggressively are you telegraphing what's happening here?
Oh, there is sheer panic happening right now.
I'll sidle up a little closer. I'm not going to intervene yet, but I'm getting a little closer to what's going on
Okay.
here.
Okay. Just tell them to watch their backs. And the rest of you Grims should stay out of my way too.
Yeah, you know that that is fair. I'm sure you're not too happy with us right now.
Understatement. And I think he's probably going to just like try to again like push past you, like shoulder check you in the process.
Mean.
I think. Oh. Yeah,
Something
right?
happened.
No, I just said he's mean.
Oh. I think seeing that, I think Moth is gonna go. Oh,
yeah,
you could
just
be.
had
fucking
fun.
grip it and rip it, baby. Slop that down,
Thanks,
dude.
Will's
Heck
mom.
yeah, dude.
Thanks, Will's
Crack one for the
mom.
big
Thank
boy.
you, Will's mom.
I think seeing that interaction happen, I think Moth's just gonna pipe up and just be like, I mean, I don't know, bud. You seem a little lonely. You could be a Grim too if you wanted to.
I don't want to hang out with you losers.
Who do you hang out with? Because you seem pretty lonely and loserly yourself here, bud. There's not even anybody here to see you. Besides us.
Only because your gross little person over there
Hey.
popped a juice grenade in the middle of the race.
You say that like it's
Yeah.
against the rules.
Exactly.
It's not against the rules, but it's a cheap shot.
And you shredding that rail wasn't?
Hmm.
I was watching.
Look, whatever. Okay. My point is, I don't like any of you losers. You cost me this race today, and you're gonna pay for it.
Oh, tough words.
Also,
Just
especially from someone who literally lost. I'm saying that to Moth. I'm not even speaking to him. Did he literally lose?
You're saying this,
know.
he's storming off at this point. You're saying this to his
I know.
back.
He's upset with
I
what
don't
you did, but
understand.
you know what? If he was a better competitor, he would have been able to get out of it.
I feel like we acted as a team, in which case, even though Space Cake was technically the winner, we all won.
If
And I
it
keep
hadn't been for
saying
you,
that.
he would have kicked my ass.
Raven just is there looking disappointed. She's
Don't
like,
worry.
yeah, we won.
Don't worry, Raven. We'll find someone who's not such a little bitch.
Do you want me to throw a slice of ham at him?
You know what? Yeah, I do.
Yeah. I pull out a little like bologna slice. Just chuck it at him, make sure it like sticks onto make sure it sticks onto their back or somewhere they can't reach. You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it sticks to his back. And he like
It's
turns
just like
around.
stinky.
Yeah, it like sticks to like the back of his shirt, and he like turns around, doesn't feel it clearly, but turns around and is like, I'm done with this. Whatever. Razor out. And then he like turns around with his like big exit to storm out, and there's just like baloney stuck to his back.
Oh, he's gonna go look for his little friend. Not gonna find him.
Did you get him?
Oh yeah, I got him.
Oh, yay, we did a little kidnap.
Not yet. We have to walk out of this room first, but yeah. I technically have not taken them yet to a secondary location.
Mm.
I think that we will end part 1 of our Grimoire Punk miniseries.
Yay.
And come back on the 22nd for the second and final part for now. Once Q is back in April, we should be back to some class reunion stuff. But in the meantime, we'll be back, and Chrissy will be with us, and you can enjoy more Grimm's adventures. We'll go around and say who everyone is and where you can find them and what people have going on and stuff like that. And then we'll probably raid our friends over at Tales from the Table, who I think are doing Path of the Fates. Yes, their Star Wars game.
Yeah, hell yeah.
So we'll go over and say hi. Lots of friends in that game over there. JD, do you want to kick us off again?
Sure, I will kick us off. Hi, I am JD. You can find me on the internet at JD Not Jason Dean. I am only going to go week by week because I have way too many things going on right now. So later today, you can find me over with Entropy Emporium for the continuation and I believe our penultimate episode of Godkiller Desecration. We are moving into Endgame. We'll see how many more gods die as a part of that. On Monday, I will be back here for Thy Kingdom Come, which is our dystopian theocracy game, and we are also moving into Endgame there. Maybe I will kill more people. It's fine. Don't worry about it. I'm a saint. Wednesday, I will be with Guild Superior for our House of Eidolons finale. That is a cyberpunk heist game, and I have been told I can no longer try to talk my way out of all of the problems we face, and I should probably actually have a weapon. So I'm going to be working on that because I am the face of our group, and that is not what I am built for. On Thursday, I'll potentially be back here, fingers crossed, for Never Ember's Enigma, another heist game that I get to play in alongside Julia. And then on Friday, I will be over with Folk and Myth for the penultimate episode there too of our Vampire the Masquerade campaign, where a bunch of secrets about my little guy got revealed last time, and he's maybe not as innocent or lost or confused as he seems.
Shocked.
And then, last but not least, I forgot that we would also be doing this next Saturday. I will be over with Tales from the Table for our rescheduled one-shot of a Grimoire Punk game, and that is going to be fun. And of course, I'm playing another little guy who has never done anything wrong, because that's my brand.
I get to play in that one too. Raph?
Hello, I'm Raph. I played Lunchbox. And I'll see you all next 2 Saturdays from now here. And let me show you the baby. Because she's going to run away once I pick her up because she doesn't like being picked up.
The baby Pepita.
That
Look at those
please.
eyes.
Those eyes.
I'm never
She's
going to be over
very
just how
upset.
orange her eyes are.
Oh,
Pepita.
baby.
Pepita.
She hates it. Anyway, she's probably going to run away now.
Let her
Wow,
slop.
she stayed. She stayed. She
Wow.
stinks. She fucking reeks, bro. But she's like,
As is her right.
Honestly, this is Lunchbox IRL. She's stinky. She's slimy. She's very small. Like,
Yeah, you're basically just playing Pepita's
Yeah.
human Sona.
Basically.
Skin Sona? What is that called?
No, no, we're
Flesh
done.
Sona?
We're done.
Yeah.
Flesh Sona.
We're done on that one.
I think the scientific term is flesh
Mm,
Sona.
no.
Yeah, we'll talk. We'll talk.
We're done.
Julia.
Hi, I'm Julia. I'm Hexbot on all social media platforms. This was a lot of fun. I cannot wait to come back as Moth and continue to be vaguely unsettling, but yet slightly boring. I'm having a great time. You can catch me right now every other Sunday here at LFTA playing Lyra Kroll with Academy H. Every other Wednesday, although this will, I think, is our last Wednesday for a minute in Rangers Rampant, where I play Helen Matthews, our little yellow Griffin Ranger over there, coming up to the end. It's going to be very good. Every other Thursday, Never Ember's Enigma, where I play Lavinia Hale. Remember, ACAB does include Lavinia Hale, especially right now. As we move into so many things. We've got 2 days of just nonstop stuff scheduled that has to happen in that game. And then, yeah, that's it for right now. And everything happens here right now for me at LFTA. I live here, I die here.
Chrissy?
Hi, I'm Chrissy in color. You can find me rolling dice and making dirty jokes. Tomorrow, bright and early in the morning, I'll be over at the pantsless table playing Candela Obscura. I may or may not actually be wearing pants. You don't know. You can't see that far down. And then, coming back here Saturday after next. Beyond that, you can find me over at Blue Sky posting thirst traps and unhinged rants.
Yeah. And hello, hi. I was your storyteller, facilitator, whatever you want to call it today. My name is Will. You can find me on Blue Sky, guys, at Willem Scream. It's getting warmer, which means that I'm probably going to be posting more. And I don't know what about, but yeah, there's a lot of things coming up. I haven't been the one in a while to say like I got a lot of things in the work, but I can't talk about them yet. But I do have a lot of things in the work, and I can't talk about them yet. I will be back on Wednesday of next week. We don't have Nephilim Tenebris because we're taking March off for Q, but when we come back with Tenebris in April, it will be with a new 5th crew member. which is very exciting. And keep an eye out for announcements regarding that. And Wednesday, I'll be back for the finale of Rangers Rampant. And then in the future, there will be some other Power Ranger stuff happening. I'll give that teaser. Thursday, I'll be over at Entropy Emporium running the Girl by Moonlight game God Complex, which is about making dead gods into mech suits and fighting space kaiju at the end of the world. And I get to play Grimoire Punk on Saturday, next Saturday the 15th, over at Tales from the Table Studio with JD and some other friends. Q is mercifully breaking his hiatus for that, because there was no other time that we could schedule it for, so we get to play. That Sunday should be Academy H as well, our Masks Actual Play podcast, which you can listen to wherever your podcasts are found. And there will be more of it someday, I promise. Anyway, that's going to do it for us here at LFTA and episode 1 of The Grims. If you're not following us on socials, you can. There are a bunch of different places. We use some of them. Or you can join the Discord community, which these days is probably a more reliable way to do it. It's a great place full of great people. We'd love to have you be a part of it if you want to know what we have coming up and when. We're going to disappear in just a second and hop over to Tales from the Table Studio for Path of the Fates. Say hi, be friendly, but say goodnight, good afternoon, everybody. Never gonna get used to that.
It's evening here, so
That is true.
Okay, everybody say good afternoon except for Raph, who has to say good evening, legally speaking.
yeah. Good evening.
Good
I'm in-
afternoon.
Everybody.
That's-
Okay, great. All right, cool.
Auf Wiedersehen. Goodbye.
See you later.
See you next
Sayonara.
time. Bye, everybody.